Friends and followers, welcome back to my channel on this dark, dreary day. And I know the inauguration just happened, and things luckily did not get out of hand for the first few hours. And I'm praying that the calm happens to stay. And we need to talk. Because, number one, 85% of you who watch my channel are not subscribed. So hit that subscribe button down there if you want to see more episodes like this. And number two, I would really ask for comments and ratings, whether it be thumbs up or thumbs down. First thing. Now let's get into what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about how drivers stay awake on the road. There's a lot of people who do shift work in trucking. I'm one of them. I work the night shift. And therefore, I've got to get a lot of my stuff done in early evening or late evening, or if I can, in places that are 24 hours, during the night. And that becomes a challenge for a lot of different reasons. And in the worst case scenarios, like with doctor's appointments, for example, I sometimes have to schedule those for like real early in the morning. That just comes with the territory. And with all the different fatigue-related incidents that I've seen on the road, I want to talk with y'all about that right now. Now you may have seen my episode before where I use an image of a truck that tipped over because the driver fell asleep at the wheel. I want to talk with y'all about what to do if you get tired while you're going down the road. This video will be especially useful for rookie drivers and those who are first coming into the industry. Especially if there's a lot of shift changing between yourself and your trainer going on. So, let's talk about that right now. So, driver fatigue. It happens to all of us. Now, I talk a lot about fatigue on this channel because I work the night shift. I personally feel a lot of it myself. And just a couple months ago, I was diagnosed with that condition that many drivers dread called sleep apnea. Now, I am almost due for my physical. And I've already got my appointment set up, and I have to take my machine with and see a special doctor now. So, let's get that out of the way first. If you have a condition like sleep apnea and you don't know it, that alone can cause a lot of fatigue. If you have other conditions like allergies, diabetes, obesity, you really need to talk with your doctor to get those conditions addressed. I admit, I'm a fairly heavy guy and fall squarely under the definition of obesity. That may change in the next couple of months or years, though, because I have a plan. And it may be a plan to change my run, retire from trucking, or perhaps continue on, but in a different role. Or I may just stay where I'm at. So it all depends. But every driver has short-term fatigue. Every driver. Not just me, not just those with certain medical conditions. And I really want to address that in this episode. So, when weather starts taking its toll like it's doing today outside my truck window, or especially when the wind starts howling, or when it starts pouring rain, you do tend to get more tired when you're going down the road in some cases. And that rain has sort of a calming, relaxing feeling. But that can get you into trouble. So, Another cause of short-term fatigue is detention, where you're stuck at a customer for several hours waiting on a load. Another cause of short-term fatigue is stress from traffic, from nasty weather. It's from political events like the ones going on right now here in the U.S. And all that takes its toll on your body. So, several short-term solutions exist to these short-term problems. Let's start with item number 1, soft drinks and energy drinks. These are a short-term remedy. Now, my favorites are Coke Zero, Dr. Pepper, and Diet Dr. Pepper, and similar colas. I also like to use caffeine pouches. Now, they're similar to tobacco dip, but there is a difference, and I'll explain that coming up. Another short-term solution drivers do is smoking. So, out of those 3 short-term fixes, I'm going to start off with number 1, caffeinated beverages, like your soft drinks and energy drinks and coffee and tea. This is the best way to get caffeine, period. Because it's liquid, it goes in a cup, it's not easy to spill, and best of all, it's available everywhere. Now, of course, coffee and tea are going to be healthier than soda or pop or Coke and energy drinks. But any of those can bust short-term fatigue in a hurry if you get the right dose. Now, these all can cause a long-term addiction, as any caffeine substance does. So it's best to use them with moderation. Number 2, caffeine pouches, like these Grinds coffee pouches. They're very much like chewing tobacco, but without the tobacco part and without the nicotine. I really like this product because it makes the best of coffee or tea or soft drinks in a portable form factor that's easy to use. And it slips in your back pocket, unlike the beverage bottles you'll probably have on the road. Number 3, chewing tobacco. A lot of drivers do actual chewing tobacco. And there is a health risk to that, because nicotine and caffeine have similar effects, but the problem is the other substances that are in chewing tobacco. Things like tar and various carcinogens, etc. You're really not supposed to be chewing that stuff. But if you must do so, it's far cleaner than the next thing I'm going to talk about. But it does have its side effects, which include canker sores, mouth cancer, and recurring infections. So, if you can quit dip and switch to a caffeine-based product, it might be better for you in the first place. That leads me to number 4, smoking of any kind. Whether you call it vaping or lighting up a cancer stick, whatever. Smoking can temporarily relieve fatigue, but then the chemicals in it get into your lungs and start making you more tired over the long term. Smoking is proven to cause heart disease, diabetes, and various types of cancer, because the tar and chemicals in the cigarettes get down into your lungs and into your throat. And not only that, but secondhand smoke, the smoke that comes off the end of the cigarette, is almost as dangerous. I was exposed to secondhand smoke when I was a kid, thanks to no small part to my parents and the neighbors and people that hung around them. And I'm suffering long-term effects partly because of that, as well as partly because of my autism and my lifestyle choices. I need you to seriously consider that. And then there's one other thing that cigarettes cause. And the state's getting tired of it. That's litter. Now, cigarettes have the distinct advantage of being an especially dangerous type of litter because not only can they start a fire, but they also carry disease. And all those guys who pick up trash along the road see it every single day. Where someone either flicks a cigarette out the window and the grass starts burning, or someone just flicks it out, then they pick it up, then their guy gets sick. And that's because of all those germs that are carried in your mouth and your nose. So if you're going to smoke, for one, don't do it around me. Because I'm serious. I prefer a non-smoker. If you must smoke and you're riding in my truck, you're just, unless I give you permission and I know you personally, smoke outside. And I'll gladly stop for you to do that. I'm not going to do the roll down the windows thing because I've seen how dirty my windows get after a smoker's in my vehicle. And I don't do the I'll let you smoke inside either. But if you're smoking in your own vehicle, or if you're at home, use an ashtray. They're available cheaply, and they let you put out your cigarette safely without the risk of fire. So, out of those methods, honestly, items 1 and 2, the caffeine-based products, are far better than the chewing tobacco or the cigarettes. And don't just take my word for it. There's a lot of people, including your own doctor, who will definitely agree with me on stuff like that. Now, we know caffeine's not the safest way either. So I encourage you to see your doctor if you're frequently having bouts of fatigue, because allergies, obesity, and conditions like sleep apnea can all cause you to be tired. And your shift changes at work and your tough schedule will aggravate those as well. So, stay alert, stay safe, and if you feel fatigue coming on, take a break. Perhaps grab a product like this if you need it for short-term therapy. But if you need it over long-term, you need to talk with your doctor, because there may be an underlying condition that causes your symptoms. Now, I'm praying about the political situation here in the United States. There's a lot of stuff happening this week with the inauguration and with stuff that's going on. So, to my fellow drivers who do follow the channel, as well as to those who are outside the U.S. watching this stuff unfold, I ask that you please pray for our political leadership, and that policies get put in place to help drivers like me get healthy and stay healthy. And I'm not just talking about changes to things like hours of service rules either. I'm talking about things like coming up with more environmentally friendly trucks that are less fatiguing to the driver, and coming up with better ways to make the job of trucking more appealing. And as we go through this changing time, I've done a lot of videos on protests, riots, and emergency driving. So if you want to watch some of those videos, I would ask you to do so and give me your feedback, please. You can do so down in the comments below or on each of the individual videos in the comments section, as well as with the thumbs up and thumbs down buttons. I'm Zach Bell, the trucker. This is Truckin' It, and until next time, let's make your best trip your next trip. Keep learning, keep thinking, keep driving safely. Bye for now.